Hey, what's up, guys? Episode number 5. This episode means a lot to me. Tonight, today, this morning, this afternoon, whenever time you're watching it, we have a very special guest. He's a Marine. He used to sell car insurance, life insurance. Um, he's an inspiration for me. He's one of my best friends. My best friend, period. He's a barber. He's my barber, and he's one of the best human beings I've ever met in my life. I know for the last 4 episodes I've been mentioning him a lot, and pretty sure a few of you guys were waiting for him. There you go, Mike the barber, my homie, my barber. I don't know, like I mean, for I know for a lot of people it's gonna feel like, hey, you're kissing his ass, but everybody that knows Mike, they know how great of a human being he is, and it's a pleasure for me to have you here on my podcast, conversation, whatever you want to call. Thank you, bro. Thanks, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you,
Thanks
bro.
very much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, bro.
Anytime.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for supporting me.
Saludcita.
Salud. So, I know your story. Um, I mean, I've been kissing your ass for the last 4 episodes. Uh, you know, like I've been telling people, you're one of the best barbers I ever met in my life. Um, I know your story from back and forward. And so let's start it. Let's start. Thanks for the support, bro. Like means a lot to me. So you used to be a Marine. You're a Marine. Once a Marine, always a
Once a
Marine.
Marine, always a Marine.
You know. From being a Marine to sell car insurance, life insurance, to be the sweeper or one of the biggest barbershops in the area back in the days, is still one of the busiest, and now be one of the busiest barbers in the area. So how you do it? So explain to us. Let me know. Let me like share your story.
How do I do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's a secret formula or any magic trick that I do that anybody can't do. I tell a lot of young barbers or newer barbers. I mean, I still consider myself a new barber, but people newer than me, I guess, when they're starting off, they ask me, how do you get booked up or how are you booked up any day that you come in? Just put in the work, just put in the hard work. I mean, there's no difference between that and, as you mentioned, being a Marine. It's all about putting in the work, putting in the fucking effort, doing what other people aren't willing to do. I don't think that I don't consider myself being able to do more than others. I know I guess I just put my head down and I do what others won't do. Not that what others can't do, I do what others won't do. I when I started off, I was in the shop before opening, before the barbershop opened. I was there. Before After the shop closed, I was still there for an hour, 2, sometimes 3 hours after the barbershop closed. And I even had a hashtag work harder than me. I did it. I know some barbers, they felt some type of way about it. They're like, you're showing off or you're talking shit. Yeah, I kind of was talking shit because I was the new guy. I was a new barber, and I was the only one there. Saturday barbershop closed at 3, 4 o'clock. I was there until 6, 7 o'clock sometimes by myself, and that's where I would do that hashtag work harder than me. So it wasn't that, especially when I was starting off, I wasn't better. I wasn't a better barber, more skilled barber than people that were cutting, for or had more experience than I did. But I was doing what they weren't willing to do. They were able to do a lot more than me, a better fade, better haircut overall, but they weren't, and I was doing it. So that's I guess that's my key.
So for the people that they don't know, like I mean, thanks for the last 4 videos. They've been reaching over 1,000 views. Where you work at? Like where what shop
I
do you
work
work?
at Fades and Blades Barbershop, Menifee, California, or Sun City, California, depending on if you know the area or not.
How long you been a barber?
Uh, Going on 3 years, I would say. Yeah, yeah,
It's gonna
about
be
three
three
years.
years. So, I told people before, uh, you're one of the busiest barbers, and like you say, like he's to be there, pretty much be consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
A bunch of people ask me why you and Mike don't open a shop together or whatever, right? And I was told people, we had the same work ethic. We had the same work ethic, and eventually we're gonna crash to each other, because
Mm-hmm.
we had the same mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I know you for 8, 9 years. Um, you started as a sweeper, like from
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people that they don't know, because I remember like when you were a sweeper, people would ask, "Hey, can you come here?" You're starting from pretty much like the way I started, like the way a bunch of barbers start, as a sweeper. Um, One of the reasons I used to start as a sweeper because used to give me a ride. They used to give me a ride from my house to a barber shop, and then eventually you got that job. What was the reason that made you be a barber? Because you were on the barber shop already, or because you really want to be a barber? No.
Um, I mean, yeah, I'll expand on how what you're saying, like how I even ended up at the shop. On top of having, you and Beto that were already good friends of mine at the barbershop. At that time I was doing insurance. I was an insurance broker. I would give you rides to work or to the shop and home. So, on my off time I'd spend a lot of time at the barbershop. And then, like you said earlier, it was still is one of the busiest shops in the area. So I would help out Beto. He needed the help, and I could use the extra money. I mean, I like to make money. I like to grind. So if I had the extra time, I would stay and I would sweep or book appointments or whatever you guys needed help with. Um, I was there, and I was making some side money, and then I saw the potential. I saw the money you guys were making, and I was like, damn, like I didn't. I know a lot of barbers, or I had friends that were barbers or are barbers, but I didn't know the potential of the money they could make. I don't think most people don't really understand the type of money or the potential that the barber industry has, unless you're really close to it. And once I was there and I was like, fuck, like what I gotta be selling insurance it's a hard sell. I'm trying to sell something that people don't really want, but you still need it. You need it, but you don't really want it. When I could sell haircuts, I'm selling haircuts, and everybody needs it and wants it. I mean, who doesn't? Who likes to look like a bum? Like some people, but most people don't. Most people like to look, like to look good. And then, we're being there with you, Beto, and Fonz. You three were just, we became really close, and you guys were probably my biggest motivators or pushers or inspirations. The three of you are three key people that I could say or will always look back and say, you guys really were pushing. Like you said, people were already asking me for haircuts before I could even cut hair. People would just see me there, my presence at the barbershop. Some people thought I was the owner or the manager. They were like, they didn't know who the fuck I was. They were like, bro, like, do
What are
you
you doing
own?
over
Yeah, what are you doing here? Do
here?
you own the barbershop? Do you manage it? And I was like, yeah, I just fucking sweep hair. Like, I'm nobody. I'm just sweeping hair. And I think just my personality or my outgoingness or my, I don't know, me caring about what I do. I take pride. I've always taken pride in my work, and if my work at that time is to sweep hair, then hey, I'm gonna sweep the best fucking.
You're gonna be the best
I'm
sweeper
yeah,
in
I'm
the
gonna be
world,
the
yeah.
best sweeper that there is. Um, and I think people saw that about me, and they were like, hey, you could sweep pretty good. It seems like you really care about what you're doing. You want to cut my hair? That's what I would think. That's why I think they're asking me for haircuts. And yeah, I mean, based off of people asking me for haircuts before I really knew how to cut hair. And then, the three of you pushing me like, dude, just do it, just do it. Just you're already here at the shop. Just take that extra step. I just, one day I was just like, all right, fuck it.
Let's do it.
And I haven't looked back ever since. I mean, I made that decision to start doing it. I quit my job as an insurance broker. I stopped doing that. And I dedicated myself to cutting hair full time, and I have no regrets. I mean, it's been good ever since.
So, like I mentioned before, I mean, for me, in my opinion, you're one of the best upcoming barbers I ever met in my life. I know you're a really people's person. Like you're like very good talking to people. Um, and especially if you're from Vista. But no, but you
Shout out
better
to
shout
the
out to
Jays.
Vista.
Shout out to the Jays from North County.
No, but you're like really good talking to people. You know, like I mean, you know a lot of people. No, you know a lot of people. A lot of people can say like that way I mentioned, like you're one of the greatest human beings. No, like you're not just a good barber all around. No, you're one of the human beings. You know, like I had the pleasure to know your mom, your dad, one of the best guys I ever met. I know your son, Jessica, and everything. Uh, so you're a good person in period. Do you think the way you are it help you to be the barber that you are right now? And like I say, in my eyes,
Mhm.
people can say different things, but in
Mhm.
my eyes, you're one of the best barbers I ever see in my life. You know?
100%. I think to me, I mean, I think that is what has made me a successful barber. I don't like to say, I don't like to count myself, or I don't like to label myself as a quote unquote good barber, but I would say I'm a successful barber because every day of the week that I show up to work, my schedule is full. My schedule is full a week, sometimes 2 weeks in advance. So I think that would be, it's fair to say I'm a successful barber. I don't know, good barber. I mean, some people might think I suck at cutting hair, but I mean, honestly, it doesn't. What is a good barber? Someone that does the best haircuts, or someone that makes someone feel special when they're walking out of the shop? I mean, I'm a successful barber. My schedule's full. Like I said, a week, sometimes 2 weeks in advance, and I owe that to a lot to my upbringing. I mean, I was brought up very humble, born in Chula Vista, raised in San Isidro. Shout out to South Bay,
Shout
San
out
Diego
to South
County,
Bay. You know, like hey, we're South Bay kids. You know, we're from Chula Vista.
border boys.
What a boys.
So I was raised very humble. I mean, my mom, she had to work. My abuelita, my great grandma, rest in peace, she raised me, or she took care of me while my mom had to work. So I was raised very humble and didn't have a lot. So I mean, I didn't. I guess I don't. It just taught me how to be a I don't know, a humble person. I think for me, humility it goes a long way. When I talk to people, I feel like people could sense that. I don't talk to people with the intention of wanting anything from them or needing anything from them. When I talk to people, I talk to them as a human. I don't care if you're a homeless person, outside a liquor store, or you're a millionaire. Because in past jobs, I've worked alongside millionaires, and I talk to everybody the same. I remember, like, I would pull up in one of my jobs. I was like basically a chauffeur, and we'd pull up to valets, and they thought I owned the car, and people would tell me like, "Oh, sir, like welcome," and I would tell them like, don't call me sir. Like my name is Michael or Mike. You know, this is me. I'm working just like you, and I've always stuck to that. That's how I was raised, to be humble and just treat everybody the same. And I stuck to that, and I feel like that's why people people feel that. People read off that energy, and I think people respect that, and people feel good about it because they're like, hey, this guy isn't just a dude that just wants to cut my hair and take my money. He's a person and he cares about me. And I do. I mean, I'll cut your hair. I guarantee I'll cut someone's hair one time and I'll remember what they do for a living. I'll remember their kids' names. I remember their wife's names. And the next time they get a haircut, even if it's a month later, a week later, it doesn't matter how long later, I remember that stuff because I genuinely care about
Because
it.
you pay attention to what they do or what they
Yeah,
like all the stories that they share to you.
exactly. Yeah.
So working at Fix and Blaze, you know, like one of the busiest barbers, one of the best barber shops in the area. Shout out to Beto, shout out to everybody that works over there. You know, so I mean, you're a lot of people's barbers. You know, you're a lot of you're the barbers of the barbers. You know, you're the barber of the barbers. You know, a lot. I know. I know Chino mentioned that you cut his hair once. You're my barber. You know, like yeah, I mean, for the last, I would say, I'm on and off for the last 2 3 years. You know, you've been cutting my hair. Um, so how do you feel like when actually barbers that been in the industry longer than you, or when some people comment about you like, hey, like I mean, we have pretty much we have the same circle,
Mm.
and Gio, all those guys, like actually they wait 2 weeks or they book in advance for months or
Mm.
weeks, just to get a haircut. But you like, how do you feel like what like? Do,
I mean, it,
do you
it
ever feel like, oh, hey, okay, cool, this feels good. I'm pretty sure
no,
you're very humble, but then like, do you ever think like, oh, okay, I'm a badass?
no. I mean, honestly, it feels cool. It's cool. If anything, I don't feel like I'm a badass, but I feel appreciative. I feel like this person, like he's an artist. We're artists. That's what we do, right? We create art with hair. I feel this person's an artist and he trusts me or likes my work enough to let me do my art on them, on their head, on their hair. Um, First of all, I don't even fucking have hair. Okay, so they're like, this fool doesn't even have hair, and he's letting and I'm doing art on their hair, you know, which and I still consider myself a new barber, like I said earlier. So I don't feel like a badass. Honestly, I feel appreciative, but I don't treat it any different. I don't get nervous. I used to maybe the first like year, but I don't feel nervous anymore because at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, if they've seen my work, they know what I'm capable, they know what I'm not capable of, and if they're choosing to book an appointment with me or ask me for a haircut, it's because hey, they want a haircut from me. So I don't treat it any different than any other person.
So I remember one of the times, I would say 2019, 2020, 2021. I don't remember exactly the same that year. We went to eat Los Panchos. Shout out to Los Panchos. Hey, you guys should sponsor me. Went to Los Panchos and we ordered some food. Um, and we are gonna pay. And you told me, hey, bro, I'm a barber now. You have to pay for me. So when did I hit you like, hey, I'm a barber, like, oh, this is the barber life, Oh, what's the barber life for you? And like, you feel like, I mean, you've been having a nice car, bro. You used to have a Tacoma, now you drive a Silverado, you know.
Z71. So
Yeah, yeah, you drive a badass car, You have your things here and there, you're a huge car collector like myself. So when do you actually feel like, hey, this is I can make you money, or this is the barber life? So what's the barber life for you? Like, you feel like you live in the barber life in your way, or you feel like, oh,
mm,
this is
yeah, I
yours?
mean, I found, like you said, I feel like I'm living the barber life in my way. There's different types of
Yeah, yeah,
barbers, right?
different. Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
some barbers choose to spend their money on fucking gold chains and fancy watches. For those of you watching, I have no jewelry on, and I mean, I own jewelry, I have jewelry, and I can buy jewelry, but that's not me.
Yeah,
Like
I
that,
mean,
I don't wear jewelry.
I
That's
would
not
say
who I
that
am.
the last year you've been buying a bunch of watch. You've been buying a bunch of watch. The last
Those were
2 months.
gifts. The
Yeah,
watches were
okay,
gifts, so I'm
okay,
not gonna take credit. I'm not gonna take credit,
okay, cool.
but the watches were gifts. Thank you, by the way, for the watches. That I look, I'm very appreciative of them. I do like watches. If there's any jewelry that I would wear, I used to be really into watches. I used to be a watch collector, and then for whatever reason, I just stopped. I just stopped getting watches. I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't buy it anymore, and I just got rid of them. But I'm not a flashy person. Like I said, I grew up very humble. That's not me. Yeah, I could wear like a gold chain or something, like a small one, like that'd be cool. But I'm not a flashy barber. Even my truck, all that, whatever I may own, physical material stuff. Like I get it for functionality. I mean, I like trucks. I like what I have, so I buy it. But I don't buy it to be flashy. So for me, I'm living the barber life within my means.
Yeah,
Um,
you live in the barber life your
in
way.
my
So what
way,
what's your way to live the barber life?
my way of living. Okay, growing up, just like I don't want to keep going back into like my growing up and keep flashing back. But growing up, I mean, I grew up eating arroz and frijoles,
Yeah,
rice and beans.
that's
Rice
it.
and beans. My great grandma, she would do refried beans with lard. Shout out to my bisabuela, rest in peace. You know, so that's what I grew up on. I grew up on beans, de la olla and frijoladas, huevos with frijoles. Like I grew up on rice and beans. Um, and now I don't even have to think twice about what I eat. Like a lot of our stories that we have going out is eating and drinking.
Yeah, man. I mean, having carne asada.
Yeah,
Like
carne
we make the
asadas
carne
and
asada.
a
No
lot
way,
of people
bro.
don't know that about me. Like I grew up like really poor. Like government cheese or like it wasn't like for me a a prize or a reward for doing good in school or getting straight A's or getting a certificate was like we're gonna get you a Happy Meal. Now I could fucking buy however many Happy Meals I want until my fat ass gets full. Like I don't have to think about it. And that's for me is the barber life. That for me is hey, I win. I had to like the things that I couldn't do when I was a kid or that were like, oh man, this is like rich people do this or wealthy people do this. I could do that now and it's that simple for me. I could buy anything I want to eat and buy anything I want to drink and that's for me that's barber life. Everything else it doesn't really. I don't really care for it.
So, I mean, we're the same age, you know. So you're 1991 kid, and I'm 1991 kid. You become a barber when you were 29. Yeah, 29. Yeah. You
I
were a
think
barber when
28,
28,
28,
29, 28, 29.
28, 29. Yeah.
So, do you regret not doing it early or no?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
do regret doing
you would
earlier.
do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I mean, I feel in a couple years what I've been able to obtain and do in a couple years. I mean, people were telling me to. You were telling me to cut hair
Yeah.
years before that. You were like, you told me to cut hair already. A lot of people, clients that I had never even cut their hair before, were telling me to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people were asking me to cut hair before I was even cutting hair. And now that I'm seeing what I'm capable of or how far I've come, um, yeah, absolutely. I wish I could have done it earlier. By now, I would probably, I would have learned whatever hard lessons I need to learn, how to manage money, manage having I don't want to say an excess of money, but how to manage more money than what I had before. I would have learned that lesson. I would have learned how to do my taxes being 1099.
Right way.
Yeah, doing it the right way. Which if you have a tax person that's willing to do taxes and doing the gray area, I'm not saying illegal, but also not like super legal. Just kind of tread the line. Hit me up. Yeah, let me know. I'm looking for a tax guy. But yeah, absolutely. I wish I did it. I wish I did it a lot sooner.
So you work at Face Blade. You've been working for almost 3 years. You like I say, like I don't want to kiss your ass, you know. But then okay, I can kiss your ass. But so you're one of the best barbers, one of the busiest. No, no, I don't want to say like best because best. I think being the best and being the busiest is two different things. So being one of the busiest barbers in the area, because people that don't know, he's one of the busiest barbers. Like me myself, I had to book. Like I get a haircut twice a month. I had to book like a month or 2 months and a half, you know. And he's my friend, and guess what? I still have to book an appointment. He's my compadre, and guess what? I still have to make an appointment. I don't wait for last minute. The only time I wait last minute, it was when like last December. I told bro, I really need a haircut right now, but I still make an appointment. Like I say, he's my friend, he's my compadre. I still make an appointment. So please, if you're one of those people that text me last minute, don't do it.
Stop doing that shit, bro.
Just do it.
And if I go to work early for you or stay late for you, hook me up.
Yeah.
Cause I have a family, I have a kid, I
Yeah,
have a life
yeah.
too.
So how? I mean, you work before for the community, you know, like you being a huge part because we play football together, we play softball together, we play basketball together for the community. Um, we do a bunch of stuff together for the community. Uh, I mean, we did that for people that didn't know. He was the main guy for the back to school back in September, no? He was the main guy for
Yeah.
to support people in Menifee, for support the kids in Menifee and the area. Hey, he's the heart. He literally took his time to send a text to a few barbers in the area, including me, including myself, who went to give a free haircut. So how important is for you to be part of the community, or how do you think like that community see us as a barbers?
Um, as far as like the community, I love the community I'm in. I love my community, but I don't do it for the recognition of the community. I don't care. I don't care to be on a billboard or a poster or a banner. I don't care to get recognized. I don't care if people know if I did it or I didn't do it. Honestly, I did it. I do it to help out people that needed help. Like the back to school haircuts you're talking about. I cut. There's a pastor that I happen to cut. Rocky Stone. Shout out to Rocky Stone. He got me in touch with the coordinator or whoever's in charge of the Menifee Boys and Girls Club. He put me in contact with him. I'm sorry I can't remember the name at the time, but I'll look it up and I'll give you the shout out. He put me in contact with the coordinator of the Menifee Boys and Girls Club, and I told him straight up, like, hey, I wanna help out kids in need. Growing up, it all comes back to a lot of it comes back to my upbringing. A lot of it comes back to what I didn't have as a kid. So growing up, my parents couldn't afford me getting a haircut or looking fresh every time, or back to school or whatever. Like my dad would cut my hair and he'd mess me up. So shout out to my dad messing up my hair.
Hey, Mr. Gonzalez.
Guzman.
Guzman, perdón, Guzman.
So he put me in touch with the coordinator of Boys and Girls Club in Menifee, and I told him, hey, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. Can you put me in touch with kids or families that would benefit from free haircuts for back to school? Really, it was just I don't want kids to get bullied. I don't want kids to feel bad. I don't want kids to to feel less because they don't have a haircut. And if that's my skill set, if I can, if me giving a haircut is the least I could do, then hey, that doesn't mean nothing to me. I'll cut hair all day, all night. If I could help out a kid feel better, if I can make a kid not get bullied or not get made fun of for not having a haircut. If I had endless amount of money, I would buy them, back to school clothes. If I whatever I know how to do, if I could do it, I have no problem doing it. So,
So hey, if you're one of those kids that make fun of the guy that doesn't have a haircut, guess what?
fuck you.
Fuck you.
Don't bully kids without
For
haircuts.
the kids that they don't care about the haircut they have and they just go to the barbershop, say salute.
Saludcita.
Saludita.
Man.
So now, pretty much people like book with you in advance and everything. So you're doing a haircut. So what's your favorite haircut to do? Like, what's the haircut that you say, okay, I really want to do this haircut?
My favorite haircut? Shaved head.
Zero
With shaved head, zero all around. It's the
hey, hey, that's
easiest.
cool. Hey, keep it real, keep it real. Like a lot of people say, like myself, like I love doing two all the way around with tapers. Like I can do high face all day. Hey, I got two trophies because I'm doing high face all day. So I love doing high face.
I keep saying I don't think I'm the best barber. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and be like, I'm the best at slick backs. I'm the best at high fades. I do good haircuts. I'm not messing people up. Obviously, people wouldn't book with me if I was jacking people up. But hey, I'm gonna be honest. If I can shave your head and you're gonna pay me to shave your head, yeah, I'll do that shit all
So
day.
I've been seeing the way it cut like when I go get my hair cut or when I go kick it around the barbershop. Um, you have pretty nice tools. So what's your favorite clipper to use?
For clippers, I use the JRLs. I use JRLs. I have two of them actually. I used to use Magic Clips. I used to use the Magic Clips when I first started. Shout out to Beto and Jason. Beto and Jason gave me my first pairs of Magic Clips. Um, so that's how I started off. That's how I would say I learned my trade with Magic Clips, which I think most barber they're still one of the best clippers out there. I think Magic Clips are probably a high percent of
The
barbers
most
use.
common clippers.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
most common clippers for a reason. Because they fucking work good. But now that I have my own style, I have my preferences. I know my own techniques. For me, the JRL clippers work the best. And for trimmers, the Babyliss trimmers, I have I think five trimmers. Everybody asks me why I have five trimmers. I don't know why I'm a weirdo. I have five trimmers, but I do have different blades on them. I have the graphite, the DLC, the graphite 2.0. I have different trimmers for different types of hair.
Hey, you know
Line
what? You're the reason why I've been trying to buy the
the
GRL.
JRLs.
Yeah, I mean, I bought it and then I saw it because I used it once and I feel like okay, and then I've been trying to use that one. I was hoping, oh, this is the one that I use mine. Shout out to Hustler Barber Supplies. He's the first sponsor from the SMK Barbers. Shout out David. Shout out Alfonso. Hey, thanks for all the hard work that you guys doing. So, okay, zero all around. Hey, it's fine. It's cool. It's cool. So now, like I mentioned before, your circle. I mean, I might I feel part of your circle, hopefully. But you feel like your circle is people from the barbershop area, like part of the barber life, you wanna call? You know, what I mean, for the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years, we're spending New Year's together,
Yeah.
birthdays together, we're celebrating. And like I said, like you're my best friend, like you're huge, like you're my brother. So your circle right now, the people that you hang out,
Hmm.
is part of the barber life or part of the barbershop? Or I mean, you're very popular in the area. I mean, I don't want to say you're famous, but I mean, every single time that we hang out in Temecula, people know you. Every single time we hang out in Marietta, people recognize you. So the people that are around you is part of the barbershop area, or
Um. Yes and no. Some people, yeah, from the barbershop. Some people know. My circle is, I know a lot of people. So a lot of people think that I'm like, I don't want to sound cocky or sound stupid and say like I'm a rock star type. But like you're saying, I know a lot of people. A lot of people know me. It's pretty hard for me to go anywhere in the area between Temecula to like Paris. I always run into people I know. I went to the gym in Hemet yesterday, and I run into people, or yeah, in Hemet, and I run into someone I know. Like, it's pretty hard for me to go somewhere and not run into people
oh
I
no,
know.
you
So
have people, you have people,
I'm
you
a
have people's
people's
person,
person.
yeah.
I try to make friends with everybody I come in contact with. I'm just a friendly person by nature. But don't fuck with me because I could be violent too. But for as far as my circle, it a lot of it is barber. A lot of it is barbering. A lot of it I've been introduced to these people because of barbering, but they're not barbers. Like, okay, obviously you're in my circle. Uh, Beto's in my circle. You guys have been my really good and close friends for a long time. Um, Shout out to my brother Jose Valencia.
Tabito is
Tabito,
a huge part of your circle, huh?
Tabito is a big part of my circle. I don't even care if I don't even care if I don't cut their hair. I met them through the barbershop, but I could have cut their hair one time and never cut their hair ever again. And I wouldn't, they would still be in my circle. They're not my family. I don't consider them family because I cut their hair. The barbershop was just kind of like the way we met. But aside from that, I mean, so it's not like, oh, if you're a barber, we're cool, or if I cut your hair every week, we're cool. Like the barber shop has been a way, like uh, I don't know, transportation. I don't know. It's been a way for me to meet people that are in my
Okay,
circle.
yeah, but I mean,
But
at the end of the day, like being a barber has introduced you to a lot of great people that because I know like I say, like I know your background, and I mean you don't hang out with the people that you hang out,
yeah,
and you hang out with like Jose Tabito, shout out to Tabito, my boy, love you homie, you make it to the barbershop, and then you know what, like for me, one of the things that got me like super high, it was like on New Year's Day, well, 2022 into 2023,
mm,
that it was like 4 or 5 people trying, like they say, oh, I'm trying to get a book an appointment with Mike, and I was like, what the fuck, like, hey, I'm trying to get an appointment with Mike, too. So for me, like that was the day that I was like, okay, no, hey, he's a barber. No, I mean, I see you as a barber for a
after
long
three
time.
years,
I had the
he's a
3 years,
barber.
like 23 years. No, no, no. But I mean, I see you as a barber for a long time. But for me, it was like, damn, like he's he's that guy, he's that guy that everybody's trying to get appointment with him. Like I say, it took me. I mean, I was trying to book an appointment last week when I got a haircut for this Thursday coming up, but you were booked by the time I wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I just booked for next week. So so pretty much your circle is people around that you met through the barbershop. Or
Some people.
yeah, some
I mean,
people.
my number one, and no one could ever take that spot. My dad, my
Yeah, but
pops, Anthony Guzman.
yeah,
That's
hey,
my
shout
number
out to
one.
Anthony. No, but I mean, but at the end of the day, like hey, he's proud of you, like that you're like
Yeah.
that you circle that you have around, like hey, he's the homie, and hey, the only person that I really cry been Anthony Guzman.
Too many
Besides my
times.
dad.
He cries every time. Every
Besides my
time they
dad.
hang out,
Besides
they
my dad.
fucking cry.
Hey, so hey, besides my
I don't know
dad.
why.
I
I
don't
don't
know
even
why.
cry
I
to
don't
my
know
dad
why.
like that. He
I don't
cries
know
to
why.
my dad.
I don't know why, dude. Like,
I don't
it's
know why
crazy.
either. Why?
I don't know.
Why do you do that?
I really cry with my dad. I do that. I don't know. Because
Why?
I mean, I see you as a
I want
brother.
to cry because I see you crying to my dad. But I'm like, why are you
You
crying
can
to
see
my
it.
dad? It makes me
No,
want
no,
to cry.
no.
Like,
But
what
you
the
know what?
fuck?
Like, I see you. I see you that I see you that as my dad. Like I mean, I have. You know how much I have respect for my dad. Like my dad is my everything. I mean, my family as well. For a long time, my family loves you. And I love your family. Shout out to my pop and my mom. My brother. I mean, we partied together for a long
Yeah.
time. But I don't know why I get sentimental with like I get emotional with your dad. Dude. I probably you know what? It's because I know what that way that means to you.
Yeah.
Like, and at the end of the day, that I mean every only Steve Ponce. He's not he's been the only barber that is not around my circle. Hopefully, I can get closer to him eventually.
Shout out to Steve the
So shout out
barber.
to Steve. And besides that, like Josh, like I know Josh for a long time. I know David, Chino for a long time. But you know what? A lot of people, like few people, actually, when like today, no, yesterday I posted. Today I posted that this is special. Everybody knew it was you. Like as soon as I post, hey, this episode means a lot to me. Like at least 25 people text me like, oh, it's Mike, and I was like, hey, you know what? It feels pretty cool that they know I mean, part of my life. I mean, lately I haven't posted about my personal life. I took a trip last week and nobody knew because I keep it secret.
I knew because I could have said before he left.
you know. So I mean, but yeah, like I say, like it's been like I've been trying to keep it local. For the people that they don't know, like the only person that I trust my stuff is besides my parents and my brother, my homie Mike. So now, okay, let's get back to barbershop area.
Okay.
So
Sorry. Time out. Is there any way we could pause it? I could take go to the bathroom, take a piss.
yeah,
Is yeah? That's cool. All right. Sorry guys. We were back. I'm a little.
so we had to take a break.
And we're back.
Come on, we're back right now. So, um, barber life. Working as made barber. Face and blade. I hate that to me barber. Working face and blade. Being a marine, selling car insurance, life insurance, and everything. Now you become a father being a barber. Shout out to Emilio. I love you. Hey, my little boy, bro. Eventually you're gonna see this video. So being a father, how did like that thing change your life? From being a we used to party. We used to party. We used to party. We had a bunch of stories to share. And now being a dad and getting your sons here. Like how did
Yeah.
that change to you? Like what was
Oh
what was that feeling?
man, it changed me. It changed me so many ways, and all for the better. Honestly, it like flipped my life. It flipped my world upside down. And a lot of people told me when Jessica was pregnant. Jessica is my Emilio's mom, by the way, for those of you that don't know. Um, so when Jessica was pregnant, everybody was telling me like, dude, becoming a dad is gonna change your life because they saw how I was living. I mean, I was wilding out, would party, you know, a lot of. it was just wild times.
I mean,
But every,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was a good time,
it was
Hey,
wild. It was
yeah, it was a
fun.
good time,
It was fun.
yeah, we used to party,
But
it was fun.
a lot of people told me like it's gonna change your life. Just a second you see them, like nothing. There's no force, no. This is my words. There's no force stronger than the feeling of holding your own child. Like they just came out. They just came out the womb, and you cut the umbilical cord, and now you're holding your child. That's like you created this. You didn't like carry the baby for the last 9 months, but half of I mean your sperm created this human, and this is like part of you. This is half of you, and there's no better feeling, no more life changing feeling, at least for me, than to hold them, and it changed my life like completely. And it was like in a second. In a second, everything I had done up until that point in my life, being a Marine, selling insurance, doing private security, being a chauffeur, project manager, everything I had ever done in my life didn't matter. The only thing that mattered from that second on was Emilio Anthony Guzman. That's the only thing that mattered.
Hey, I mean, I was the pleasure to be that second person to find out that he was gonna be a dad, that you were gonna be a dad, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get emotional right now, but I don't. For some reason, like I just feel like Emilio, like he's one of us, Like I just feel like Emilio, he's gonna be. I mean, the first time I met him, like when he was like 3 days old, like I was like, okay, hey, this is my little homie, this is my little boy, and then basically, I mean, every single time I see him, like he's just
It's because he's got my DNA.
yeah, yeah,
He's got
yeah.
my
No,
DNA.
no, you know what? You know what? He has that friendly. He has that friend, that people's person
Yeah,
energy. Like
yeah.
he knows how to attract people. But hey, he knows that he's gonna be the best Kenesa maker. He's gonna be barbecuing in the patio. That he's gonna love the Padres. He's gonna love the Padres.
They got to win today, by the way.
They
They
gotta
got to
win
win
75.
to the
San
Giants.
Francisco lose.
Sorry for you
Cause he's
Giant
bad.
fans.
No, no, but I mean, he's gonna be that kid. Would you like him to be a barber or not? Would you like him to follow
um,
your steps or not?
a lot of people ask me like, "Hey, do you want your son to be a Marine because you were in the Marine Corps? Do you want your son to be a barber?" I want him to do whatever he wants to do. Me, fortunately for me, I had my mom. They never pushed me to do anything or be anything. They were basically kind of like a safety net, I guess. They were just letting me do whatever. I mean, not let me do whatever. They were pretty strict. But when I was graduating high school, my dad was like, "Hey, you're gonna go to college. You're gonna work. You're gonna join the military. Like?" He gave me options and he let me choose whatever. And actually, I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. So my dad, he's actually a manager for waste management, and he put me on the hardest route. So he said, "Oh, you don't want to go to school?" Because I never liked school. I never liked school. If you like school, please continue to go to school. But I don't think it's fully necessary. I don't think it's 100% completely necessary to be successful in life. But my dad was like, "You don't want to go to school, cabron? Okay, you're gonna see what hard work is like." So I started working at waste management as a helper, pushing dumpsters. That's another job I had. I was a helper, so I would literally just ride passenger in the trash trucks, and we'd pull up to the dumpsters. I hopped out and I pushed the dumpsters in Mission Beach. It was what's the route? I forgot the name of the route or the number of the route. I wish I remembered it, but I know it was with Don Javier. Don Javier. I hope you're doing good. You're somewhere out there in the world. I was with Don Javier, and we were on the toughest route, the heaviest route, by the beach in San Diego, California, during the summertime. I mean, how much tourism is in San Diego beaches in the summertime? That's like the heaviest, more trash being produced than probably anywhere in the United States at that time. Um, and my dad put me on that route to show me a lesson. Like, you don't want to go to school, okay? You're gonna work. Well, I fucking killed it. Like drivers were requesting me. They're like, "Hey, I want him to be my helper." Like I did really good at it, and I liked it, and that was the path that I chose. I chose not to go to school. Um, again, if you want to go to school, please continue to go to school.
At the end of the day, I mean, you are a Marine, right? I mean, being a
No, this is
Marine.
before. This is
No,
before.
no, but no, yeah, I know it's before, but I mean, at the end of the day, like you say, oh, people who doesn't choose to go to school. I mean, you choose the hard way. No, being a Marine.
I chose
like,
the hard way. Yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
100%, 100%.
Being a Marine, like, hey, shout out to Ramses Calvillo, Alberto Calvillo,
Los gemelos.
Los gemelos Calvillo. Like, they're Marines. And like, hey, I know the stories, and some people like they say, oh, why do you have so much respect for Marines people? Like, hey, come on, like, hey.
Because we fucking crowns. Because we crowns. That's why.
My two compadres are Marines. Like, my two compadres and the other one, like, fucking, padrino de bodas. Like, hey, so true that most people around me, like, they're Marines, Okay, so that's why I have so much respect for Marines, So, okay, so you live all this life, right now, 2023. So what expectation, like, how do you see this industry going on? Like, how do you see the industry is gonna go forward? Where the second oldest profession in the world, like, besides
prostitution and barbering. HK.
HK.
Where do I see the industry going to?
How do you see that industry?
Oh man, it's crazy because I've only been in the industry for going on 3 years, and salud. Oh yeah, Mario Lopez sponsor me. I drink a lot of Casamigos.
Fuck you, Mario Lopez.
The industry, where's it going? Damn, 3 years into the industry, going into 3 years of the industry, it's changed so much. I feel like I'm maybe because of my age, maybe because I'm already 31. Maybe because I'm 31. Fuck, I know. Maybe because I'm 31. Maybe because I feel like I'm mature. Some people think I'm not. Some people think I'm actually younger than 31. A lot of people think I'm in my 20s. Maybe because I look young. Maybe because I'm handsome. I don't know. I think when people tell me I'm in my 20s, because the way I look, the way I act, I don't think I act young. I think I just I'm handsome. You act
pretty young. You look pretty old.
Okay, so Mario Bart made here to roast me, but the industry. Oh man, what's up with the sprays and color pencils and coloring? Like, I want to bring back haircutting. That's me. I see the industry going into that. That's in social media.
So you think barbering is like go more like coloring and all this stuff?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, if you follow Barbershop Connect, Barbers of Instagram, any major Instagram accounts like barber Instagram accounts, if you see those haircuts that they're posting and they're glorifying, like 90% of them are either, well, they used to be Photoshop. Before they were Photoshop, now they're all about enhancements. There's not a lot of haircuts that don't have enhancements. Not a lot of haircuts that don't have coloring. There's not a lot of haircuts that right now that you see trending that don't have something added to it other than just the cutting of the hair. I don't want to sound like an old head. I don't want to sound like, oh, this dude's fucking old. But that's what I see going into, and I feel the pressure. Luckily, I I have my clientele that still like they don't want that.
But at the end of the day, you were with some badass barbers. I mean, I don't want to miss any names, but I mean, Mike, he worked with some of the badass barbers in the area.
Fuck yeah!
They come out from Palm Mitchell. Palm Mitchell is like grade school to start.
Yeah, Palm Mitchell is a creme de la creme of barbering.
Palm Mitchell is a grade school to start because they teach you like pretty much everything. Like from coloring.
I learned from them. Straight from them coming from school. I'm learning from them.
I don't want to miss any names because I don't know everybody. So,
my girl Carmen.
Yeah. Okay.
My boy Luciano. My boy Angelito. Lover boy Cut. Rico. All my Palm Mitchell people. Love.
Leo, nothing but love. Leo, his
Leo,
Leo, and then
Jenny.
Carmen.
I already said Carmen.
Karina.
Karina.
And
Kari.
then, what's Leo's wife?
Jenny.
Jenny. Hey, shout out to
John. John the OG.
Yeah,
John is the OG
John
of Business
OG.
Barbershop.
Sway. Meta, shout out to Beto. Hey.
And you know what?
Beto.
Last but not least, fucking Jason. No, Jason.
Hey,
Jason that has taught me so much about.
Hey, you know what?
When people ask me who taught you how to cut, okay, I mentioned Mario, Beto, and Fonz, like pushing me into becoming a barber. But if I can say who really taught me, like who I replicated, who I learned from, Jason. I told my dad that. I told everybody that Jason has taught me so much as a barber.
The second person, Shino, Shino, Faith. He told me, hey, Jason, because he works in a million barbers for a little bit. That hey, he's a badass barber. Hey, shout out to Jason. Jason, I had the pleasure to work with him over there with Nacho. I forgot the Nacho barbershop name. But
the Trap House barbershop or something like that.
No, but I had the pleasure to work with Nacho and Jason. And Jason, he's a badass barber, dude. Like, hey,
Jason's a badass fucking barber.
You know what? I have my respect for Jason. Every single time I go over there. Hey, remember, this is not a podcast. This is conversation. So we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have everything around, and we're gonna talk a little bit. So yeah. So hey, Jason,
Jason has fucking skills.
Oh, yeah,
Jason.
You know what? I got some respect for Jason. Like you, because he's a badass barber. He's a badass human.
He's a badass human. He is. Jason's a badass human. For people that his circle is, if people think my circle is small, Jason has a smaller circle.
Oh, fuck you!
And I'm not even gonna talk. I'm not gonna expand or elaborate on it because I don't want to offend him and disrespect, his circle or his choice of having a small circle. But all I could say is I've learned a lot from Jason. He's out of barbers that I look up to as skill wise. Like, dude, you have the technique. You have the, you have the technique. You have the skill. You have the capabilities of doing fucking art. When I'm talking about art with hair, that motherfucker could do some art with hair, and he should be one of the most booked up barbers in fucking Southern California, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Like, I learned a lot from him, and I'm very thankful for him. He took the time to teach me. He never as far as I know, he never held anything back or shied any information from me. He actually genuinely cared to teach me, and I will forever be appreciative of him for that.
To close down, what's the best advice you can give to young barbers?
The best advice for barbers.
To young barbers.
To young barbers, put in the work. Put in the work. Don't make excuses. Don't make excuses. Don't lie to yourself. Don't say you can't do this when you really can. Don't compare yourself to barbers. That's a huge one. That actually should be number one. Let me rephrase that. Don't compare yourself to other barbers, because what you do, what you provide, what you bring to the table, that's you. You are you no matter what. And no one can take that from you. No one can take your work ethic from you. Don't sit here and try to allow other barbers to belittle you or pick apart your cut or criticize you, because guess what? Most barbers on the internet, or most barbers to your left and your right, they're not gonna book an appointment with you. You can cut their hair. If you're in your shop. They're probably not gonna pay you because you do cut for cuts. Barbers do cut for cuts. Most barbers are not gonna pay you for a haircut. Don't give a fuck about what a barber says. most barbers are not gonna give you a cent. Fortunately, I have the privilege of having barbers that book appointments with me. So yes, I make, they pay me. But aside from that, that's like a pretty small window. Aside from that, most barbers, they're not gonna give you shit.
I don't want to say how much I could give because at the end of the day,
He gives me $10.
Yeah, you're here. $5. No, but hey, but do you feel like something special though? Like at the end of the day, like I don't want to say like something special, but I don't fucking nobody, you know. We just fucking nobody. You know? But do you feel like do you like the first time I book with you? Like, do you feel like okay, I'm gonna book my like Betos or like Fonso or like anybody, but like you feel
like I said earlier, like in the beginning.
I know you're very humble. I know you're very and like.
No, it's true. This is true. I'm fucking drunk right now. By the way,
Yeah,
I'm drunk by now.
Me too.
So I'm not. There's no bullshit.
I'm gonna post it because this is the way we are.
There's no bullshit.
Hey, I'm kicking it. Here's two people like I'm kicking it with like my best friend. I'm kicking it with my brother. Kicking it with like the person that I love the most.
We're gonna go kick it after this podcast too.
Hey,
shout out to Don Javi's Tacos Junior. Happy birthday, dog. Happy birthday, dog. We're gonna celebrate your birthday right now. By the way,
you should be here. You should have a fun with me. Hey, no, but hey,
Don Javi's Tacos Junior.
Hey, this is my brother. This is like he's the only person that he doesn't. Hey, I was when I was sad, the only person it was Mike. When I was happy, the only person was Mike.
And my dad, because he cries to my dad. I don't know why.
Yeah, hey, Anthony was I love you, homie. No, so yeah, but, so he has to close down. So
don't fucking accept other barbers' criticisms because fuck barbers. If you're a barber, fuck what another barber has to say, his opinion, his criticism. He's not paying you. You're not making a living off of barbers. All you gotta care about is a person in your chair. The person in your chair that's paying you day to day basis or week to week, month to month, whatever repetition they're getting their haircuts. That's who you care about. Don't care about what people say on the internet. Don't care about the other barber that's hating in your shop or the barber that's hating in the other shop because you don't gain nothing from them. That's what I want everybody to understand. Fuck getting accepted by other barbers because they're not paying you.
This is to Mike and hey, as I say, hey, thank you for being here, thank you for support. Shout out to everybody. Hey, I'm hoping this video has to reach 5,000 views. I have to get paid because I have to pay my car. Okay, salute.